What's good, Deluxe family? Welcome back to the channel, man. In this video right here, I'm about to be reacting to 8 athletes that were caught cheating at the Olympic Games. Not the Olympic Games, though. Last video I reacted to was 20 athletes that were just caught cheating. But these were caught cheating at the biggest sports event in the freaking on Earth. Damn, you're just a cheater in front of everyone. Sucks, man. So make sure you do check the links in the description. That also has my sports channel and my merchandise, man. Let's get straight into it.
Hello everyone. Every award athletes win is the result of years of hard work. You have to train all the time, limit yourself, overcome yourself, strive for victory and fight for the award no matter what. Especially when it comes to the Olympics, the main sporting event of the planet. However, not all of its participants are willing to compete honestly. History knows many examples of fraud and athletes that chose to cheat in pursuit of victory. But even among all these cases, there are truly outstanding examples. Today, we will talk.
That nigga ugly as hell. Damn.
Then, let's get it on. Madeleine de Jesus. Athlete Madeleine de Jesus was born on November the 4th, 1957 in Brooklyn, but competed for Puerto Rico. She'd long been a track and field athlete. More specifically, she competed in the women's long jump and triple jump. Madeleine's personal record, 6.96 meters, was set on July 24th, 1988 in Mexico City. And at the Pan American Games in 1987, she finished 5th. But as you might have guessed, she didn't become famous thanks to her sporting achievements. There was something else. In the 1984 Olympics, the athlete entered several categories, but got injured doing a long jump. The injury was pretty serious. Madeleine was limping so badly that she couldn't take part in other competitions. But the athlete was not going to give up so easily. She came up with a cunning plan, and in order to make it happen, she brought her twin sister. Oh yes, this story is worthy of some telenovela, but it happened in real life.
Fun little quick story time. So look, last summer I was talking to this twin. You know what I'm saying? You know, they're good looking and all that stuff. I did post a video with them on my main channel, but that's not what we're talking about. There was one day, cause we talking, you call me beautiful, gorgeous, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? The twin had called me, all right, but it was bad service though. The other twin had called me. She was talking. I'm like, yeah, you look. She's like, I look good today. I'm like, yeah, of course you look good. Little did I know it was the other twin, and they were playing a prank on me. But obviously I had to clear it up. I'm like, yo, why you can't be playing like that? It was a bad connection. I had to clear that shit up, you know what I'm saying? Something like, yo, quick little story time. Let's get back to it.
Her identical twin Margaret de Jesus successfully competed in the qualifier. Perhaps the sisters would have achieved success, replacing each other from time to time. But the fraud became known to the head coach of the Puerto Rican team. He was astonished and immediately pulled out the whole team from the competition. And it is understandable. If the Olympic Committee had known about the violation, it would have been an international scandal.
So the twin sister could jump just as good?
Police. Olympic sports change over time. New ones appear, others, on the contrary, are forgotten. Tug-of-war competitions at the Summer Olympics were held in 1900, 1904, 1908, 1912 and 1920 as a team event. Initially, different clubs took part in the competition. Countries could compete with more than one club, allowing them to earn several medals. By the way, at that time it was believed that tug-of-war was a track and field event, although today it's considered simply a team sport. Anyway, at the 1908 Olympic Games, the Liverpool Police won the silver medal, losing to the London Police. As a result, all 3 prizes went to the British. But the story doesn't end there. Alan Knott of the Tug-of-War Association said that the Liverpool Police were wearing such heavy shoes that the athletes could barely lift their feet from the ground. Of course, this obviously affected the result. The US team filed an objection, but it was rejected because the rules didn't regulate the weight of the shoes. According to some reports, the Liverpool team offered the Americans to compete barefoot, but for some reason they refused. Maybe it's just a legend. Anyway, even the heavy boots didn't help the Liverpool policemen win the gold medal. Tunisian modern pentathlon team.
Oh, okay, I get it.
Many athletes...
So they just wore heavier boots, so I guess there's more weight on their side.
The Olympics, but few can compare to the pentathletes from Tunisia at the 1960 Games. To begin with, we should admit that the pentathlon is not an easy discipline.
Then they have mad games in the Olympics.
It includes horse riding, fencing, shooting, running and swimming. You have to be a real professional to prove yourself in all of these sports. And the athletes from Tunisia, well, let's say they didn't stand out for any sporting talent. In the horse riding competition, the Tunisians just fell from their horses. One of the athletes also had a little problem in the pool. More exactly, he almost drowned. A pentathlete at the Olympics. Shooting didn't work out either. The team had to leave...
Wait, who almost drowned in a pool? Did a swimmer almost drown? I'm lost right now. I'm trying to keep up. I'm lost, low key.
One of the participants almost shot an official, but the epic ending of this series of failures took place during the fencing competition. The Tunisians decided to use the same athlete during the match, believing that no one would notice thanks to the mask. What a brilliant idea! But of course, in reality, the result was quite different from what the hapless pentathletes hoped, and their fraud was uncovered. The team was disqualified, but even if that hadn't happened, the Tunisians wouldn't have won any prizes. Few people in the history of the games could boast such appalling results. Karl Schranz. The Austrian skier Karl Schranz was one of the best in the late 1960s and early 1970s, and some consider him one of the most successful skiers of all time. Despite this, Schranz was terribly
So let me see something then.
in the Olympics. During his entire career, only once he came close to the Olympic gold. In 1964, he won silver in the giant slalom, although he had the flu during the competition. If you've ever had it, you can imagine how much Schranz wanted to win, but he didn't even pay attention to the disease and put his skis on anyway. Probably wanted it too badly, so much so that the athlete decided to cheat. At the 1968 Grenoble Olympics, Schranz entered 3 different events. The first 2 were won by his rival Jean-Claude Killy, but something strange happened at the 3rd event. There was a thick fog that obstructed visibility, and some mysterious man was running in front of Schranz. One of the officials, a ghost, an overly enthusiastic fan, whoever was there, he allegedly interfered with Schranz on the track. Because of this, the skier was allowed to try again, but then it turned out that even before the encounter with the strange man, Schranz had missed a gate. As a result, the unsuccessful skier was disqualified, and the medal went to Jean-Claude Killy again.
Oh, okay.
Spiridon Bellakas. The Olympic Games originated as a religious event in ancient Greece.
What the hell is this? What's going on? What is going on? What is this?
The modern games were revived by Frenchman historian Pierre de Coubertin, but Greece was and still is their homeland. But what about Greek athletes? Well, despite the centuries-old history of the games, there are real cheaters among them. It looks like they don't respect the memory of their ancestors. Spiridon Bellakas competed at the first new Olympic Games in the summer of 1896 in Athens.
Yo, I'm
Being
hungry
a part
as
of
hell.
the revived tradition sounds awesome. Bellakas was one of the 17 athletes to start the Olympic marathon race. He crossed the finish line 3rd, after Spiridon Louis and Charilios Vasilikos. Still, it was a great and honourable result, until the truth about this race was revealed. It turned out that Bellakas didn't even try to overcome the entire distance as a real marathon runner. Instead, he did part of the way in a cart, and then got off and finished successfully. Yes, the very first Olympics weren't flawless. Of course, Bellakas was disqualified, and the 3rd place went to an athlete named Julia Kellner. He was the 4th to finish. Hans Gunnar Liljenwall. Nowadays, we see news and scandals about doping all the time. Famous athlete.
Yo, y'all chilling? Y'all good? I'm chilling. I'm asking if y'all chilling. I'm chilling. Alright, man.
Constantly suspected of using certain substances, and some are even caught red-handed. Scandals, accusations, insults, things can get rather heated. This was not always the case though, but there's always a first time, right? Somebody must have been the first person to get caught, and we found him. Swedish modern pentathlete Hans Gunnar Liljenwall participated in 3 Olympics, 1964, 1968 and 1972. In 1968, Sweden won a bronze medal in the team event, but soon Spain lost it, and all because of Lillian Wall. It turned out that 1968 was the first year when athletes were tested for various substances at the Olympics, and Lillian Wall failed spectacularly. But no, he didn't use steroids or anything like that. He was disqualified because of alcohol. Lillian Wall was suspended for excessive consumption of alcohol.
That doesn't make him a cheater.
Test, and later confessed that he had 2 beers before the shooting competition. You know, to handle the anxiety. It's a very strange decision though, especially when you have to shoot. But Lillian Wall must have had a different idea. Just imagine how surprised the members of the Olympic Committee were. What?
That'll make him a cheater.
Seriously? Sian O'Connor. Sian is probably one of the most unusual cheaters on our list today.
Let's hear it.
Because it wasn't him who was caught doping, but his horse. Sian, an Irish equestrian, took part in 2 Olympic Games, 2 World Championships and 6 European Championships, as well as many other smaller competitions. He even won a gold medal at the 2004 Olympics.
Yeah, my guy got the horse all roided up and shit.
But very soon it turned out that Sian's horse had failed the doping test. His and 3 other horses competing at the Olympics were found to have banned substances in their blood. O'Connor stated that he fed his horse himself before the competition, and there were definitely no drugs in the food. He also noted that the horse had been treated by a veterinarian prior to the Olympics and was given medication, but their effect has long ceased. This was the confirmation by the veterinarian himself. Unfortunately, the Fédération Équestre Internationale still considered O'Connor's victory unfair. He was stripped of his medal and couldn't compete for 3 months.
Damn, that's
Nero.
tough.
And lastly, a cheater
old
on
as hell.
imperial scale, quite literally. The Roman Emperor Nero was famous for his cruelty. He was a tyrant, but he loved art and was quite an extraordinary person. Nero studied poetry, music, painting and sculpture. He sang and played the lyre. Many of the...
Hold up.
Nero studied...
Yo, why is Nero's beard on his neck though? Yo, no chin hair. Nothing below his chin. That shit is on his neck.
Poetry,
that must have been
music,
the style back
painting
then.
and sculpture. He sang and played the lyre. Many of these subjects were standard education for the Roman elite, but Nero's devotion to music went beyond.
That looks like Nero.
The emperor also participated in the Olympic Games in 67 AD. According to sources, Nero bribed the organizers to postpone the games for a year so that he could take part in them, and also forced them to add art as a sporting event. The result was quite predictable. The emperor won in every category. He was even declared the winner of the chariot race, although he fell out of his chariot in the process.
Yeah, he sounds smart to me.
Confidently stated that if the emperor had been able to complete the race, he would have been the first to finish. A year after Nero's death, his name was then removed from the list of winners. Psst, dude, are you looking for...
I mean, how do you tell an emperor of an empire that you lost in your own empire? Was it? Is it? I don't understand, man. But if you do watch this point of video, make sure you do like and subscribe, man. I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. The same way you're gonna catch me in the next one. Peace.